Alright guys, so I know that you tuned in today to see a cooking vlog and you're wondering, why is this guy in a field and what the hell does that have to do with the vlog? And the answer is nothing. I did just learn, however, while making this vlog, how terrible the lighting is in my kitchen. So I wanted to go ahead and pop out here and make use of some of the natural light. I did order some LED lights, so I'm going to upgrade the lighting in my kitchen and in my filming setup so you guys can see things better in the future. And I wasn't feeling so well, so I don't feel that my personality is really all that great in this video. I did consider scrapping it, but I decided there's a lot of great information in this video on how you can cook a pan-seared steak at home and get chef's quality. You don't even have to have a grill. You can cook it in an apartment. You can cook it anywhere. So this is how you can get a chef quality steak and a chef quality meal, a 5-star quality meal right in your own home. So enjoy it. We're gonna do some improvements. We're gonna come back bigger and better with the next vlog. I hope you guys love it. Give it a shot. Give me some feedback down in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Alright guys, so step one with the tomatoes is going to be to go ahead and get your oven, set it at about 300 degrees. Let that start to warm up.
The lighting is so bad in here. This is like so ghetto.
Alright, so your second step is going to be to get a cookie sheet or some sort of cookie stone like we have. We don't actually have any cookie sheets in my house, but we do have these Pampered Chef cooking stones. Throw a little parchment paper over the top of it. It's going to keep your tomatoes from getting stuck to the surface. It's going to keep them nice and keep that flavor in. We're going to go ahead and use Roma tomatoes for this. You can use any tomato really, but you want to keep it about this size just to make sure that it cooks right and it cooks down how you want it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cut these tomatoes in half, and then we'll catch you on the flip side of that. Alright, as you can see, we have the tomatoes cut in half and laid evenly across our surface. Make sure you keep them even across your surface just to make sure everything is cooking evenly and your heat is distributed evenly across your surface. Over here, we got a bowl with some olive oil in it. If I was Rachel Ray, I'd probably have some sort of like fancy mixing bowl here, but I'm just gonna do it in a plastic bowl. Anyway, I'm gonna hop over here. What you're gonna wanna do, throw some salt in there. I'm gonna use kosher salt. You can use gray salt if you like. You can use table salt if you like, but I like the flavor of kosher salt. Here I have a second cup full of some majoram, some thyme, and some granulated garlic. It's not a bad idea to use fresh garlic if you have a mincer. I know a lot of people don't, so I went ahead and used granulated garlic here. So we're going to dump all that in together. And we're going to whisk that up, try to spread the herbs and the spices evenly throughout the oil. Now keep in mind, those are going to settle to the bottom a little bit, so as you're spreading these on your tomatoes, you're going to want to kind of mix it up a little bit more. Alright, so where we're going to go from here is we're going to go ahead and just spoon up some of this good mixture here. Just slide it across the top there, nothing fancy, just boom.
And boom goes the dynamite.
Just hit each one of those. Remember again, mix that up. Alright, as you can see, we went ahead and we put the seasoning across the top. Now you don't have to go too crazy with it. Just make sure that each one gets a decent little coating on the top. You don't have to hit the backs or the bottoms or any of that stuff. That's going to be perfect right there. From here, what you're going to want to do, make sure that your oven is up to temp, and then we're going to go ahead and throw those in the oven, and then we're going to set the timer for 2 hours. So you're going to want to let these sit in here in your oven, just kind of slow roast for about 2 hours. Now we're going to check them about every 30 minutes or so, just to make sure that everything is going as planned. Alright guys, so the next thing we're going to work on is our asparagus. We went ahead and spread this out across the plate. It's not a huge deal if it overlaps a little bit. It still should cook pretty evenly. What we're going to do is we're going to use this mixture that we used on the tomatoes, since there was some left over, and it's going to have a lot of the same ingredients to it. We went ahead and added a little extra olive oil. We're going to hit it with some fresh ground salt, and then we're going to hit it with some fresh ground black pepper. You can get these grinders if you don't have any. You can get some at your local grocery store. They're not too expensive. What we're going to do then is we're going to take this brush. By the way, if you're using pork, make sure you check out Smithfield Meats. They're a generous friend of ours. So then just go ahead and just hit this right here.
Apparently mine are going to move around on me a lot today. You can get them lighter than I have, obviously, and that's not going to happen to you quite as much. But give them a good, generous coating there. Get some of those seasonings on there, some of that salt, that pepper, that garlic flavor. And again, there's going to be some thyme and marjoram in here. You can skip that if you want to use a fresh batch, but I would definitely make sure you get the salt, pepper, and garlic in there, because those are the key flavors that you want to hit these with. Now, as you can see, they're good and glistening. Don't miss the tops. Get those tops in there. Get that flavor all the way over them, just like that. And as you can see, they're shining with the oil. That's awesome. What we're going to do at this point is we're going to go ahead and take these. We're going to throw them right in with the tomatoes. As you guys can see here, I went ahead and started melting down the butter for the Southern Fried Cinnamon apples. Here we got some Granny Smith apples. You can go 2 large, 4 smaller apples, somewhere in that range. That should give you plenty, but you want to melt down this butter here. Once you get it melted down, drop it down to about a medium heat, and you're going to want to add the apples. Okay, so you're going to want to simmer these apples in this butter until the apples kind of soak up all the butter. Just kind of move those around in there. Try and get all those apples into that butter. Right here, once all the butter is mixed in, we're going to go ahead and add this. This is some cinnamon, some sugar, some brown sugar. So you're just going to dump that right in on top. You kind of do that to your own taste. You know, I have my own mixture that I like to use, but that's what we're looking at there. So what you're looking for with these apples is you're looking for the apples to soften up a little bit. You want to get these fairly soft. You don't want to overcook them though, so be careful with them. You know, keep a close eye on them. Soft but not mushy. Alright, so we've got these apples about where we want them. Now we're going to go ahead and add in the cinnamon and the sugar and the brown sugar. You want to spread this kind of evenly across, and what you want to do is kind of let it gel up and create, and not real clearly I did a great job of spreading it out evenly, but mix this up, let it kind of gel up on there and create like a nice little gel, like a syrup basically. And then you want to get the apples nice and covered in that syrup. Alright, so we got a strip steak here, and what we're going to do is we're just going to keep it basic. The best flavors from the steaks just come from salt and pepper. So we're going to go ahead and salt that up. We're going to hit it with some fresh ground pepper. Get a good hit of pepper on there. The pepper is what's really going to set this thing off. So we'll flip it over, make sure we get the other side. Okay, we got a second steak that we're going to go ahead and do the exact same thing to. In the meantime though, we're going to go ahead and turn the oven on. We're going to pan sear this steak, and then we're going to go ahead and give it a nice little coating of oil. The oil is going to keep the meat from burning. If you do it right, it'll help it get a nice sear. So you want to just mix that around and then let that heat up. So we're going to go ahead and hit the next steak while this is heating up, and then we'll catch you when we're ready. So that sound is what you want to hear on the steaks. We're going to go ahead and drop in some butter. We're going to drop in some fresh thyme. Then we're going to hit it with a little garlic too. So we're going to let that all kind of move around in there. Now the key for this, what you really want to do is make sure that you're flipping this about every minute or so. That's going to allow it to cook up even. You want the pan to do the work for you. So go ahead and hit that, and then just to make sure we're good, we're going to give it just a little more oil over the top there. Now, another thing you're going to want to do while you're cooking this, make sure you get the sides. You're going to want to lift the steak up and sear those sides. Pick that garlic up, kind of rub that garlic on that steak, get some of that flavor in there. Again, don't forget, move that around, get it to cook good and even, because it's going to cook fast when you get the sear going. The key with the steak is you want to make sure that the fat gets good and rendered down. Alright, it's a little noisy in here. We got the fan going, but you hear that sizzle? You see that color? That's exactly what you're looking for when you want a chef quality pan-seared steak. I'm going to go ahead and yank mine off. I'm going to leave my wife's on a bit. She likes her meat well done. But right about now, we're going to be looking at medium for these steaks. So these are our southern fried apples completed. Over here we have our steak, our asparagus. We like our asparagus well done, but we have our steak and our asparagus laid out here with the roasted tomatoes. We're gonna get into this, man. It looks delicious. I'm hungry. I've been cooking all day, so I'm ready to eat. If you like this video, if you learned something, if you enjoyed it, make sure to hit like and subscribe. Let your friends know about it. We're going to have more food-only vlogs here in the near future.